go grab your freaking popcorn because the tea is hot, honey. It is spicy. It's not even tea anymore. This is straight up Hennessy. But this is a story time about the worst date that I've been on. Literally, I ended up getting gaslit by this person. That's how bad it was. Afterwards, I was just like, I don't want anything to do with this person, like, ever again. I'm gonna tell you the whole story of how it happened, how we met, what happened on the date, and how things ended. So how we met. I posted a video on TikTok. Go check out my TikTok. I think the video was about the differences between living in Cape Town and Joburg, and it was basically my opinion. And I wasn't necessarily saying that Joburg is better than Cape Town. I was just saying that here are the differences between the two cities, which got a lot of traction, obviously, because it is a very controversial topic. And this person comments, I disagree with you. And then I was like, okay, share your opinion. I'm always willing to hear what other people have to say. So like, share, let's have a conversation. But also a part of me is just like I'm over the conversation, because I feel like the time that it takes me from thinking about a video idea, actually filming it, editing, and posting it is quite a long time. By the time I'm posting it, in a way, I'm over the topic and I'm over the conversation, and I'm not really in that space anymore to talk about it again. And then a couple of days later, I see a reply to my comment that's like, why do you disagree? Share your thoughts. And then the person replies, I replied privately, like, calm down. And I'm like, you replied privately to what? Like, what is happening here? A couple of days later, probably, I go to my Instagram and I see this message request. And it was like, hey, this is me from TikTok. I don't know how I knew they were from TikTok, but I knew that it was this person. I think I just put the pieces together. And in my head, I'm just like, this is weird. Like, you could have replied on the TikTok. The fact that this person was just like, okay, I'm going to go find the Instagram, which is not that hard because it is linked to my TikTok account. And then go to this person's DMs to have this conversation about how Joburg and Cape Town are so different. I found that weird. I was just like, you could have just replied to the comments. I mean, but yeah, red flag number one. We need a red flag counter, actually. I'm going to put in a red flag counter. But yeah, it was sus. And then I replied, hey, I think I said, hey, how are you? Something along those lines. I just greeted. And then this person was like, can we meet over coffee to have this conversation? And I'm like, no, I'm not about to get my ass kidnapped. No, that is not happening here. I don't know what you're expecting me to do. But yeah, I'm just like, no, I'm not about to literally get kidnapped. That sounds very suspicious. And then I think she replies with a voice note. I don't remember what she said, and I deleted the conversation because I was so angry, okay? But it was something along the lines of, yeah, I thought about replying, but then again, I think you're cute, so I figured out, like, why not ask her out on a coffee date? Something along those lines. And I'm like, okay, but that's still not happening. And then eventually they decide to reply to what they were supposed to reply to in the first place. They sent like 2 voice messages. I see the messages, but then I don't reply. Maybe it takes me like 2 days to reply, and then I listen to them. Like, they had some pretty good points, but also it was very like subjective. Like, also everyone's experience is different. I was just like, yeah, you actually do raise some good points. Like, I get that and I totally agree with you. I'm not trying to pin Cape Town and Joburg against each other. I said what I said, it's my opinion and it's not a biggie. And then they replied to my messages with 2 voice notes, and I'm just like, yo, this is like, I don't even reply to my friends. Like, I'm sorry, sometimes I just don't have the time. I'd be minding people and I know that it's bad, but also like, I'm just not gonna reply to everyone. And then I see them like engage with my content, like reply to stories. You know how whenever I'm in my messages, I can tell that, okay, this person replied because now it's in bold. And then like a couple of days later, they would delete the reply, which is also very like, it's weird, right? And then a couple of days later, they asked me, hey, how are you? How are you doing? I'm like, I'm good. I'm just stressed because I have a test on Saturday. And it's like an 8-hour test and it's really stressful. I think there was like a bit of a conversation then. And I started like talking a bit, but I didn't really say much. I don't remember us having a full-blown conversation. Saturday, I go ride. And it was an 8-hour test. My butt was tired. My legs were tired. I was just like, I'm over this. I get home. I get some wine. I get some food. I watch a movie. Like, times are really great. Before that, they were like, I really wanna go out on like for coffee with you, and I was just like, no, I'm not really, no, like that's not happening. And then they were like, no, but it's nothing like stressful. We'll be like friendship type of vibe. And then I was like, no, I'm really not like about to do that, because also I think I was going through a breakup at that time, and I was just like, I don't want to be meeting people, like I don't want to be talking to people. I'm not trying to make friends, especially because they said before that they find me cute. I was just like, nah, I know where this is going. I know exactly where this is going. And then they were like, no, really trying to convince me that it's a friendship date. And then eventually I agreed to it. Regrets. But eventually I'm just like, yeah, next week I'll find a time, because a part of me is also just like, you need to make friends. See, you can't keep on doing this. So I go right, I come back home, get home after my test, and this person sends me a text message. They're like, hey, don't you want to like go chill or something? I'm like, no. I'm tired, no. And they're like, okay, text me later and tell me how you feel then. In my mind, I had definitely decided that no, I'm not going anywhere now. I'm not going anywhere past 8. My mama raised me right. And then randomly, I see a missed call, like a missed audio call on Instagram, which just gave me the biggest ick. I was just like, what? And then in the middle of my movie, this person calls again. How dare you interrupt my movie, first of all? From the conversation, I'm just like, this person is very like cocky. I wouldn't say they're a narcissist, but they're very cocky. And there's like a very thin line between having confidence and being cocky, and they've passed that line. But I'm just like, maybe it's like them trying to like finesse me, like maybe they're not that bad in real life. And then during the call, they're like, you know what? We have to move our date. Like now I really want to see you. Like I want to see you now. I'm like, yo. But a part of me is just like, yeah, let's do this. Let me get this shit over and done with. I had a feeling in me that was just like, let me just get this over and done with, because I feel like I may not get along with this person very well. So we decided to move it to the next day, which was Sunday. I can see you tomorrow. That's fine, because I literally had nothing to do but go to the mall tomorrow. And also I'm still in the mindset of, I'm going to make a friend. Like, I love making friends. I love meeting new people. Next day, we're supposed to meet up at this place, and it starts raining. And apparently the place is like an outside area, so we had to go to a different location. But this is happening while I'm in the car, so I'm late as always. I go park my car at some random parking, and then I call them. I'm like, are you at the place? She's like, yes, but it started raining, so she had to go. They have an outside area and we can't sit there, so now we have to figure out a new place to go to. The thing that bothered me the most from that conversation was she said something along the lines of, isn't there a place that you want to go to, because I know you have your like Instagram places. And I'm like, what do you mean? What are you talking about? I think the fact that they made it a point to tell me that they were stalking me on Instagram just also gave me an ick. It's a major red flag. It was just weird. I think the way they said it. Because also one thing I don't like about people is people making assumptions about me based on what I post on social media. So by you saying like, nah, I know you have your Instagram places, it's just awkward, because now I'm just like, okay, what do you want me to say? Do you want me to like suggest a place? If you're gonna stalk, don't let the person know you've been stalking them. It's just weird. But also this happened multiple times throughout the dates, which I'm gonna get to. And then eventually we found the place, but also I don't know what this person looks like. I went to their Instagram. This person didn't have pictures of themselves. They had pictures of like the mountains and the oceans, and I think there was like one picture of themselves. So I could tell that this person is black, but also I can't see the face. So in my head I was like, maybe this person is black, but I was confused because they used the white people emoji. You know how when you click on an emoji, like a person emoji, the default color is yellow. If you want to adjust it to a different skin tone, you can do that. They used the white people emoji, which was like weird. Like I found that weird, because I'm just like, okay, wait, are you black? Are you white? What are you? I meet the person, they're okay. We sit down, we have a conversation. It was a good, normal conversation up until they said that they're an anti-vaxxer. What? What do you mean? And it's 2023. What do you mean you're not vaccinated? And I think she said something along the lines of, even today, I'm still not vaccinated because like the vaccines are gone. Like there's no, like I can't get vaccinated now. Yes, you can. Don't make up excuses. Why are you making up excuses? I think that is just a very inconsiderate thing to do, to not get vaccinated, and it's just very selfish. I'm sorry. Like, I'm sorry. Fight me. There's some things I'm not about to disagree with the person with, especially someone who's going to be in my circle. Like, there's certain things that for me are just like no-nos. Like, get vaxxed, don't kill people, be ethical. Those are standard rules, and if you fall out of that, you fall out of that. But then other than that, it was okay. And also during the dates, they were making assumptions about me, like saying things to prove that they know me better, trying to prove to me that they were stalking me, or like trying to use whatever I posted as like, I don't know, trying to tell me that, hey, I watched your content. Which was also very weird, because I remember I said something like, I was talking about something, and then I was like, I can't cook. And then they were like, I know. And then I was just like, okay, cool. Like, can I speak? Can you get to know me? Because I feel like whatever I post is not 100% of me. It's still more to me than what I post. And you can't assume that you know me just based on the shit I post online. So that also bothered my soul. I just hated when people make assumptions about me. I think that is what bothers me. And then the other thing that happened during the conversation that kind of, I was just like, this person is not, something's off. Oh, they asked me what school I went to, which is a very like big Cape Town thing. It's a very like classist social status thing, which I don't get. But the fact that I come from KZN, which they were also very shocked about when I said I'm from KZN, they were like, what? I didn't know this information. Yes, because you don't know me. Of course you don't know this information, because you think you know me, but you don't know me. I was like, why are you so shocked about that? Like, I think they tried to brush it off and be like, I thought you came from Joburg or something along those lines. But yeah, I was really bothered by the fact that they were insistent about which school I went to, because I feel like you're trying to size me up. And some people do that. Like, they decide whether they want to be with you or be associated with you based on like your job, like what school you went to. And also, I'm from KZN. You don't know the schools in KZN. Just like I don't know the schools in Cape Town. If you said a random name and you called it a school in Cape Town, like I wouldn't disagree. I don't know. I don't freaking care. Stop trying to size up people. If you get along with the person, you get along. And if you don't, you don't. Stop trying to benefit socially or financially from having certain relationships with people. After that, I pay for my own shit. They didn't have anything to eat, which was weird, because they were the ones insistent about having the coffee. And also from this point onwards, if anyone asked me out, they're fucking paying. Because usually in the past, I was like, I think we should split, because also it's both females. It's like, who's paying? But no, from this point onwards, whoever asks me out is paying for my food, because y'all be freaking wasting my time. I pay for my shit, we say bye. Something awkward happens at the end. I don't know what happened, but it wasn't that awkward. But yeah, I go home, I go shopping, I go to the mall. I'm not on my phone for like a couple of hours. I get back home. Do I not see missed calls from this person? Excuse me. It's giving desperate energy. They sent a voice message. They were like, hey, I just wanted to let you know that I think I had a good time, and I would just like to say that from this point onwards, I know we said we're gonna keep this thing friendship-wise, friendship-based, but I feel like as time goes on, I might like develop feelings for you. I listened to this. I'm like, hell no. Especially because already I had said I'm not looking for anything, and they were insistent on keeping this as a friendship thing. And also, I don't want to hang out with someone with the feeling that maybe they're just hanging out with me because they think in the future I'm going to change my mind about them. Like, I don't want to be in that situation, because then that's going to get awkward. What if I move on to someone else and not you? Like, that's going to be very awkward. And also, I don't want to feel like there's just someone waiting in line for me to heal. Like, just standing there like, okay, can you heal now? Are you done now? Are you done now? So we can be in a relationship. That's just weird. And I don't want to be the type of person who leads someone on or gives someone hope when nothing's gonna happen. Because I honestly wasn't attracted to this person. I was just like, you're not my type. We have barely anything in common. So I was just like, let me nip this in the bud. And then I sent a message. The message was along the lines of, hey, I said I'm not looking for anything right now. I feel like we shouldn't hang out anymore. Bye. And I'm thinking maybe this is the end of the conversation. They're gonna be like, okay, I totally understand. All the best with your life. No! That's no! That is not what happened at all. They try calling me now. They're just like, hey, I would really like to talk to you about this. I want to talk to you about this thing. Can I call you? Are you busy? Keep getting these like missed audio calls. And I'm just like, what is happening, bruh? Guys, advice, take rejection and leave. Like, leave while you still have your dignity. I have load shedding, so if it goes dark, it goes dark. When someone says no, leave with your dignity. Don't wait. They call me, right? And then they're like, no, but nothing's gonna change. They weren't shouting or anything, but it was like, Why are you trying to convince me to be in this friendship? When someone makes a decision, you don't try to convince them out of it. You take your nose. You can ask why so that you can understand what you can do better, but it's not your job to try to convince the person to be friends with you, which is weird. They're like, no, nothing's gonna change. But I'm just like, no, I don't care if nothing's gonna change. You can't take back what you said. I heard what you said. I'm still gonna have that at the back of my mind. And then they're like, but that's not what you said in the message. What you're saying now doesn't match what you said in the message. And I'm like, yeah, so what? I was so freaking livid at this point. I was just like, yeah, so what? That's how I feel now. And it doesn't make what I said a lie. Both can be true at the same time. I'm getting mad thinking about this. And then they said this, and I think this is what threw me off. I was like, gone. I was fuming at this point. They said, I feel like you're making a decision that affects both parties, and you're making it by yourself, implying that this is unfair. And this is when I lost it. I freaking lost it, man. That's like a guy walking up to you and saying that, hey, can I have your number? And you say no. And then the guy's like, but I feel like you're making a decision that affects both parties and it's unfair. Make it make sense. Of course. And I don't care. That's my decision. Like, I don't know you. Literally, I don't know you. We started talking a week ago. I can make the decision to cut you off and never speak to you again because I can. Even if I did, even if I've known you for 20 years, I can't do that. It's not unfair to have boundaries. I was like, this is the end of the conversation. We dropped the call. I don't want shit to do with this person ever again, because I honestly felt like this person was trying to like gaslight me into thinking that this is not how I felt. They were trying to trick me into being in this friendship situation with them, but I feel like they were gonna try to like manipulate me to the point where I was in a relationship with them, which is something I didn't want at all. But yeah, they were just like, nah, this is not how you feel, which I don't get. Are you trying to tell me that I am lying about my feelings, or you're trying to tell me that, oh no, you like me, like you really like me, you want to be friends with me, you want to be friends with me so badly? That's the end of the conversation. I don't necessarily block. I'm just like, I don't want shit to do with this person. And my friends were like, block. Listen to your friends. Listen to me. Listen to your friends. Okay? Please block the person. I don't know why. Maybe it was my ego. Maybe I didn't want to make her feel like she had won. Also, I was really unbothered. I was just like, thank God this is over. After the conversation, they were like, can we keep this between us? I'm gonna make a whole YouTube video about this. Why the fuck should I keep this between us? Only a guilty person would say that. If you know you didn't do anything wrong, you wouldn't feel the need to be like, hey, can we keep this between us? And also, no one fucking knows you. Like, it's not like I'm gonna name drop or anything. At that point, she was too late because I had already told my friends. Obviously, I'm gonna tell my friends. And then a couple of days later, I posted a TikTok about, it was actually very funny. When you post a story so that your crush sees it and now it's the 23rd hour and they still haven't seen it, that feeling. If you know, you freaking know. So I posted a video and then they were like, I think they called me. In my head, I was just like, they probably just want to apologize about what happened, which I get, obviously, because they were definitely in the wrong. They gave me a call. I think they apologized. I don't remember the whole conversation. And then they were like, but also I want to check that the reason you rejected me is not because of what you posted on TikTok. And I'm like, what the fuck did I post? I post every fucking day. Like, what are you fucking talking about? Oh, the power just went out. And then a part of me is just like, what are you talking about? And then they're like, the video of like the crash, which annoyed me even more. Because if you're gonna think that everything I post is actually what's happening in my life, grow the fuck up. 90% of the things that I post might have been something that I wanted to post for a while, and it's not really how I feel. Because also it was like that moment when you have a crush on someone and you're posting on your Insta for them to see it. It wasn't like, hey, I have a crush on someone. And even if I did, so what? Stop trying to justify the reason why I rejected you. It's not okay. That's not okay for you to do. Because that's how the call made me feel. They were like, oh, so you rejected me because you have a crush on someone. You could have just said that. I'm like, no, I don't have a crush on someone. I rejected you because I rejected you. Stop trying to justify rejection. Leave with your dignity. This person did not leave with their dignity. Maybe I should have said yes to that. Maybe I should have been like, yeah, I have a crush on someone. This is why this can't happen. Nah, can't happen because it just can't happen. And then I'm just like, okay, definitely this is the end of the conversation. Like, you cannot lose any more of your dignity after this. So after the call, I move on with my life, and then randomly I see this person engaging with my content, which I found weird because I think they liked the story or some shit like that. And then I go to the profile to like go unfollow. When I unfollow, I see that they unfollowed me first. If you are gonna unfollow me, make my account unfollow you too. I go and follow because I'm just like, honey, I'm not your fan. If anything, I am not your fan. Literally. And in my head, I'm like, okay, first of all, why are you still engaging with my content if you have already unfollowed me? Second of all, why didn't you make my account unfollow you? Like, that's weird. That's suspicious. So I unfollow. I still don't block because I'm a cancel. I'm creeped out by this person, but I'm like, they're gone. Nothing's ever gonna happen again. Weeks later, which is now more recent, I get a message from this person and they're like, hey, I would like to have a conversation. I'm thinking they want to apologize for their bullshit again. I'm like, a conversation about what? They're like, how are you? I'm like, fuck this shit. But you're not gonna ask me a question after I asked you a question. Like, that's not how it works. And also, it just tells me you're not serious about what you want to say. If you had something to say, you would have replied to that question. I'm like, I'm nice. I click on it so they can see that I saw it. I'm nice. They call. Yo, the calls, guys. The calls. I think that just pissed me off even before we met up. Why do you think you're so entitled to someone's time for you to call them? They call, miss calls. I'm mising. I'm just like, I asked you a question. And then randomly they're like, hey, can we have a call? I'm like, I don't have time to call you. I don't have time to have a call with you. If you want to say something, if you're serious about saying something, you would have sent it by text by now. Like, and this was throughout a couple of days. If they were really serious about saying something, they would have said it. So I'm just like, no, you know what? I don't have time for this shit now. Like, no, but I'm busy. Have some grace, blah, blah, blah. I leave that as is. I don't reply because I'm just like, dude, if you want to say something, say it. If you don't want to say something, don't say it. Like, leave me the fuck alone. So I said that, and then they were like, you have so many red flags, to be honest. So you decide, actually, let me tell this girl, she has so many red flags. Let me just tell her that. Because that's what you do, right? That's what people do. When you see a walking red flag, you don't stay away from them. You go to tell them that they have red flags. And you're trying to hang out with them. And you're bothered when they reject you. In my head, I'm like, honey, I know. I'm a walking red flag. Obviously, no one's perfect. I have my issues. But I'm like, okay, is that what you wanted to say? I just felt like they were trying to bring me down for no fucking reason. But yeah, I'm like, okay, cool. Thank you for letting me know. Sunflower emoji. But also I said it in a very passive aggressive way. They failed to pick that up. I delete the whole conversation. I'm like, I'm done with this person. I delete everything. Next day they're like, this was very unfair of me. I think I let this go on for too long. But this story is interesting, so I'm gonna pay the bills with this. I can see they're replying to something, but I can't tell what because all the messages are deleted. But I think they were replying to the fact that they said I have red flags. And at this point, I'm like, okay, cool. That's how I'm replying at this point, which is also very embarrassing. If someone is giving you 1 or 2 words, don't be sending paragraphs. Don't be sending voice notes. It's embarrassing and it's cringe, okay? Because this person is like sending paragraphs and I'm just replying with, okay, cool. And then they send 2 voice messages. The first one is like, hey, I really want to apologize for everything that happened over like the past few weeks. And I really still want to get to know you. I feel like we could be good friends. And then the second voice note is like, they feel like they reacted that way because they had built some sort of like image and they had these things in their head and they were hoping that's how it goes. And then when it didn't go that way, they were literally very disappointed and that's how they reacted, which doesn't justify gaslighting someone, which doesn't justify trying to manipulate someone, which doesn't justify being rude to someone. But also it was very self-aware of them. Like, we love a self-aware queen. I'm like, okay, cool, because I've clocked out of the conversation. I'm gonna put a screenshot of this here, okay? And then they were like, so what do you think? And I was like, no, I have enough friends. Like, I barely can make time for the friends that I have. I don't want to make more friends. And also, I don't want to be friends with her. I don't think you're a good person. And also, I'm over this thing of just because things didn't work out with someone, then we should be friends. No. First of all, me and this person don't have a lot in common. Second of all, like, I barely have time for my friends. Third of all, like, I should stop fooling myself. Like, I should stop saying, no, I don't like you, but we can be friends. Like, I don't want to be your friend. You're a very rude, manipulative person. Because also, whenever I say that, I'm fucking lying. If we don't have anything in common, that friendship is not going to last long. So let me stop committing to more friendships. So I say that. And then they said, this is not how you really feel. I think this is the second or third time this person has said this to me. I don't know what you mean by that. Like, I don't understand what you mean by that. Are you asking me, are you telling me that I'm rejecting you for certain other reasons that I'm not saying? Which is obviously true. Like, I'm not gonna be rude to a person. I'm gonna try to let you down easy. Me, by saying I have enough friends, that was me trying to let you down easy. Now, are you saying you want me to be like, hey, you're a manipulative, toxic person and I don't want to be your friend? Is that what you want? Or are you trying to convince me that, hey, this is not how you feel, you really want to be my friend? And then they were like, which is so funny, they were like, you don't really fit the criteria anyways. And then I just started laughing. It was so funny. And then I hearted that message. People can't handle rejection and then they try to bring you down. I just find it so freaking funny. Because this wasn't the first time this person has said something like this. After I rejected them the first time, they also said something about, no, you're not the shit. Something along those lines, just that I really don't remember the conversation. And the fact that this person 2 minutes ago was like, I think we should hang out, like I want to be your friend. And then minutes later, they're like, you don't fit the criteria, is embarrassing. It's freaking embarrassing. I heart the message because I'm just like, this is beautiful. I don't fit the criteria. I posted that on my story. I think they saw it, yeah. And then they blocked me and I was happy. And we lived happily ever after. What disturbed me the most about this person is that they would try to bring me down, even with the comment like, you don't fit the criteria. I felt like that person was just like, they were trying to bring me down to their level. Like make me feel like I'm not good enough for shit so that I can like have a low enough self-esteem to the point where I want to hang out with them. I think that's like their tactic. If they feel rejected by someone, they want to bring them down, which is very toxic and problematic. Apparently it's called nagging when someone, usually men, this is something that men usually do to women where they try to like bring them down so badly and then the woman seeks validation from this guy. Because I felt like whenever they got rejected, they were like, nah, you don't fit the criteria. And it's just like toxic and bad and also fucking rude. And also the gaslighting, like them trying to make me feel like that's not how I feel or disagreeing with my emotions. Like you don't disagree with someone's emotions. If I tell you this is how I feel, you don't disagree with that. As much as I said they're cocky, I feel like they use that as a mask because they're insecure. Because someone who's secure in themselves can literally walk away with dignity. Like she said no to me, but it probably has nothing to do with me. Because they were clearly bothered by it and they were trying to find ways to like justify this in their head. I feel like that whole conversation, everything that happened can be summed up into that scenario when a random guy pushes a random girl in a mall and asks for a number, and then when the girl says no, and then the guy is like, oh, you're not even that pretty anyways, like fuck you, just keep on walking. That's how it felt to me. That is what happened. I hope I never see that person again. I'm glad I'm over that. Y'all need to pray for me. And because of that, I am not going on a date anytime soon. We are now intentionally single and avoiding people up until Ayo Edeberry replies to my DMs. But yeah, ciao Bella.